Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we will be discussing 5 artists that should we be pressing the panic button on or not. You hear this kind of conversation a lot around artists where people are like, as a blank fan, is it time that I start panicking or worrying? Should I be giving up the hope that this person's going to, reach the heights that I think they can reach or that they have reached before? I have 5 artists in mind that I've heard this conversation about a lot, so I think it's time we jump on into it. First of all, this one hits close to home for me, which is Mr. Kanye West. I am one of the biggest Kanye fans you'll ever meet. I have memorized almost all of his songs. I am just all in all the time. He was my top artist on Spotify for 3 or 4 years in a row. And right now, I think it's fair that we press the panic button on Kanye West. Just looking at it, his last 2 albums are 2 of his lesser quality work. I think Vultures 1 is overhated. Overall, I still think it's a good album, but Vultures 2 is objectively weak. I don't think it's horrible. It has some okay songs on it, some good songs, but also some really bad songs. The increased use of AI in a lot of his newer leaks that have come out is very concerning, and using AI for his music videos is even more concerning. The knock against Kanye for a while is that, his like creative drive isn't there. He doesn't care much about music anymore, and that he's using AI to finish his own verses and his music videos kind of just supports that thought. I am a Kanye fan. I will always have an emotional connection to the music he's released before, but I think it's fair we can press the panic button and say, I am worried about the future of Kanye West's music career. I hope I'm proven wrong, and I hope he delivers with Bully. Number 2, we're going to jump into it with Drake. This is commonly talked about right now. Do we get off the Drake bandwagon? Are people still fans or not? Now, objectively, he's still the biggest rapper in the world. His music is the most streamed of any rap artist every month. He was the most streamed rapper every month of last year on Spotify. So he's still performing well, but also objectively, his stats are down. His music is performing worse than it was the year before. That was the first year he's ever gone without releasing an album, not ever, but in a while, his first year without releasing an album. People seem clear that, they're worried about his direction. Him suing Kendrick and his label for the lawsuit about Not Like Us is just a really bad look. His public reputation's at an all-time low. His streams are the lowest they've been in a while. Overall, if you're a Drake fan, yes, you can press the panic button. The songs he released last year weren't bad, but none of them were hits, none at all. Consistently, these songs weren't bad. They just did not perform well. People really did not care about new Drake music last year, and that's concerning. People are going back to his old stuff, but for his new music, people didn't care. And I think if you're a Drake fan, yes, you press the panic button now. It's time to worry. And how much is he going to let this Not Like Us drama affect his music? Sometimes artists just get tunnel vision and they can't focus on making great music because they're so worried about one single thing. And I think it's fair that we might be reaching that point with Drake. Number 3, I have Playboy Cardi. Should we press the panic button? It's been 4 years that album. People are worried. No, I do not think you press the panic button. The amount of, just attention this guy gets for every picture he posts, every time people think it might release tonight, people get pissed every time and they're saying, I don't care anymore. Release it, don't release it. People care. They wouldn't be talking about it every single Friday at the end of 2024 if they didn't care. They wouldn't still be talking about every time Academic says something. People care. People care a little bit less than they did a year ago. If he were to drop it last, February, March, when he had all the hype from those Instagram singles, it would have sold better. I think his music is going to sell worse than it could have, but I could be proven wrong. Whole Lotta Red had the staying power, and I think Cardi's music sticks around. He has songs that weren't even released on Spotify or Apple Music last year that are still hits, like 2024 and Hood by Air. Do not press the panic button on Cardi. That man still has all the attention in the palm of his hand whenever he wants it, and he's going to stay big. 4 is Dua Lipa. This is a little different from the rap categories I've had so far, but Dua Lipa's last album is her worst performing one by far. Her first 2 albums are 2 of the 5 most streamed female albums ever on Spotify. She has 2 albums with over 10 billion streams, and her album from last year, I believe, is still under 2 billion streams, which is just a bad look. Didn't sell well, sold 60K first week, was her shortest charting album ever, didn't really have much publicity, no number 1 hits off this one. If you're a Dua Lipa fan, you can worry about it. A lot of people just blame, the switch to using her family as her manager instead of her old label that she was using. It's a clear difference. The amount of performances she had, the music videos, they weren't pushed as much. She didn't have as much radio play. She's still a very large artist, but if you're hoping for her to be one of those main pop girls that, is on that Mount Rushmore of pop right now with like Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande, it doesn't seem like she's going to reach that level right now after her last album. So if you're a Dua Lipa fan, it is fair that you worry about, her mainstream success long term. She's going to have those songs that consistently stream well, but they're not going to be like cultural impacts. Like Houdini and Training Season sold well over time, but they didn't make an impact. Like people aren't going to be nostalgic for a Houdini era. When people are nostalgic for future nostalgia or self-titled, those type of things. Finally, number 5, very clearly obvious one. If you are a Katy Perry fan, all 12 of you guys that are left, it is time to panic like you have never panicked before. Her last album sold so well. People did not respect her as an artist. People just made fun of her more consistently. She had no positive attention. Woman's World was one of the most clowned upon songs of last year. The music video, the album cover, everything about it. People do not care or respect Katy Perry right now, which is kind of wild to say. If you'd have told me that 10 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you because she was maybe the biggest female artist in the world for a few years. But people just don't care. She doesn't get respect. She doesn't get any real attention. People are just listening to her stuff to clown on it. It's going to take a crazy turnaround, a crazy marketing event, some kind of era that gets people fully engulfed in Katy Perry for this to be a successful switch. But I think this is what she's stuck with. I wouldn't be surprised if she leaves music entirely in the next few years. So if you're on these artists, do you press the panic button? Do you not? Let me know who you agree or disagree with, and let me know why you think that. I want to know what you think if you're a Drake or a Playboi Carti or a Dua Lipa fan. Let me know what's going on in your thought process. Are you worried about these artists? And thank you all for following me and jumping on here and subscribing from TikTok. It looks like it will be back soon, but I really do enjoy these longer style commentary videos, and I hope you will subscribe and make sure to stick around for more videos every single week. Make sure to let me know what your thoughts are and like this video. Thank you so much.